pray for the well-being of the whole humanity. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Stapakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Stapakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Avatar Varishtaya Ramakrishna Yate Namaha Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. In the last two classes we have been discussing Sri Ramakrishna ideal. I am taking relevant quotes from Sri Ramakrishna's teachings in the Gospel and how he represents in every respect what are the teachings he has taught. So they are so effective for anyone who wants to practice spiritual life. Sri Ramakrishna himself is a great ideal. He lived the life and he set upon himself as an ideal to the people to follow. How he married, lived with the wife, at the same time he maintained the spiritual life, indicating that even though you are married, it does not mean that you cannot live spiritual life. In fact, he raised the standard of the married life. It's not simply like ordinary worldly way of life. It is meant for a higher spiritual life. Well, he represented the Rishi ideal. The Rishis in olden times, they were married and they would perform their duties very thoroughly, but everything would go according to dharma. They would not violate the religious traditions and conventions. So, they could live very well in this world and they could overcome all types of crises and problems and difficulties. So, Sri Ramakrishna, he did not merely revive the ancient way of life, but adapted it to suit the needs of modern men and women, and also changed its meaning and scope. If you study Sri Ramakrishna's life, you find how he was living a very natural, normal life of a common man. He lived in a modestly furnished room. He was wearing dhoti and shirt. He was wearing slippers. He would eat the simple meal cooked by his wife. He chewed pan. He did everything with meticulous care. He would take a keen interest in the people around him. He met the prominent leaders of society. He showed how to lead a perfectly pure and intensely spiritual life in the ordinary social environment of a city or town. He enlivened the ancient Rishi ideal and adapted it to the conditions of modern society. Further, he widened its meaning and purpose by infusing into it the power of the Vijnani ideal. So far, we have dealt with a few remarkable aspects of the Master's life as the ideal person of the present age. We shall now study about the other two aspects of the ideal. The other two aspects are the universal and the divine. All these three are fully manifested in Sri Ramakrishna's personality. We see in Sri Ramakrishna the fulfillment of the widest possible harmony and all-embracing synthesis of human values and ideals, and the fullest manifestation of the divine glory of the human spirit. So when you study Sri Ramakrishna in depth, you find in him a synthesis of the utmost of jnana, bhakti and karma. Knowledge, devotion and action, all these three are properly synthesized. That is his uniqueness. That is what Swami Vivekananda gave to us in the form of an ideal. You must have seen our monogram with the serpent, ocean and the rising sun and the swan. That is the synthesis of all the yogas there. So, Jnana, Bhakti, Karma, they're all synthesized in that monogram. That is the mission ideal. So, when you come to Sri Ramakrishna, your personality should be like that. You must be able to enjoy all aspects of spiritual life. Everything has got its value, its place. Knowledge is important, devotion is important, and action also important. How all these things are very essential if you have to have full manifestation of spiritual life. Swami Chidananda, one of the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, he describes Sri Ramakrishna as Acharyanam Mahacharya. Acharya means teacher, the spiritual teacher. So Sri Ramakrishna is the great teacher among the world teachers. He became the teacher of the teachers. Whoever came to Sri Ramakrishna as a teacher would become later on the disciple of the teacher, of the disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna would lead them to higher status of spiritual life. Because there are instances, you know that, Totapuri, a non-dualist, he came to initiate non-dualistic meditation to Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna got into absorption. Finally, he realized the oneness of reality. And Totapuri himself was surprised because he himself had to spend 40 years of intense sadhana to realize the oneness of reality. Here is Sri Ramakrishna who got it in 3 days. That shows how his mind was so thoroughly pure, and that shows his constitution was perfect. And then later on, even though he had realized that absolute reality, still he did not forsake the Divine Mother whom he was worshipping. Even after that Advaitic realization, he would keep praying and clapping his hands and singing devotional songs and praying to Mother, crying to Mother, shedding tears of joy, expressing love. And Totapuri couldn't believe that after that realization, how could he come down to this level? How could he accept anything other than that absolute reality? But Sri Ramakrishna made him understand that Parabrahman and its power both are to be accepted. Fire and its power to burn, water and its wetness. It's like that. You can't accept and reject the other. Both are obverse and reverse of the same coin. If you accept Brahman, you must accept his power. Brahman, on account of his association with power, becomes the universe and all created beings. If the power is withdrawn, all the creation is taken back. The manifestation of all these things you are seeing on account of the display of the power of Parabrahman. Well, by the grace of Sri Ramakrishna, Tutapri got that realization finally, and he was very thankful to Sri Ramakrishna and left the place with a sense of fulfillment. Now, there are some common features found in the lives of all the great teachers of mankind. If you call a person a teacher of the world, it means he has a message for the whole humanity. And that message is such, it is suited to the current age. It's only incarnation can do such a job. Only incarnation can give such message. That means, incarnation means the Supreme Brahman descending on this earth in order to deliver the message so that people may come forward in the spiritual path. Secondly, he sets a new spiritual tradition. He lives the life and he convinces the people, look, this is the way how you should conduct yourself, you will get the result. Thirdly, his life and teachings produce far-reaching changes in society. Now let us deal with Sri Ramakrishna's method of message to the world, how he was able to give the message to the whole humanity. The message should be such, all the people should be able to absorb it. If you give a message which is too difficult, then it may not work. So you have to understand the psychology of the people in the world, and message should be accordingly given. That can be done, that can be accomplished only by incarnations. So what is the first message of Sri Ramakrishna to the modern world? It's very interesting. Modern world means people have different notions, different conceptions, and modern world means people have more and more worldly tendencies. It is extremely difficult for them to turn towards spiritual way. And people are suffering in so many ways. So herein comes the importance of Sri Ramakrishna's message. What is that message? It is the message of hope. Hope. Every age marks a critical period in history, and every age needs a messenger of hope to reassure the people. If you see the modern world, what type of crisis the present age is passing through, it is not difficult to find out. this is the age of doubt and profanity. And there is science and secular knowledge. They have been given utmost importance as if they are the thing to be attended upon, as if we are living for the sake of science and secular life. So, in effect, what is happening is science and secular knowledge are hitting very hard the ancient images. On account of the mighty onslaught, they are tumbling down. The precious established values are getting devalued. Earlier beliefs are being discarded. The modern world needs an undeniable personal testimony of the fundamental varieties of religion, like God, immortality of the soul, man's spiritual destiny, effectiveness of prayer, worship and service. Herein is the great significance of Sri Ramakrishna's life. Through his stupendous spiritual endeavors, experiments and experiences, Sri Ramakrishna has re-established the ideal of God realization as the goal of human life. Spiritual life begins with this goal. If you don't have this goal of realizing the truth, realizing God, then it cannot be called a spiritual life. So, it is very important for us, if you are keen in starting your spiritual life, your goal must be set correctly. That is, to realize God, for which the human life has been given. We have come to this human life in order to realize God and not for anything else. Not for anything else. If you have not worked for the realization of God or realization of the truth, that means that life has gone waste. You might have had tremendous accomplishments in the field of science, in the field of secular knowledge. You might have acquired Nobel Prizes. What of that? You have not achieved anything if you have not attained realization of God. So, until and unless you set up your goal, you can't start your spiritual journey. And you can't get real peace or real happiness in this world. You are bound to suffer even though you have got 5 Nobel Prizes. So, Sri Ramakrishna has established this fact. The ideal of God realization as a goal of human life. With the authority born of direct experience, Sri Ramakrishna has assured humanity that not only is God realization possible and possible for all, but is the only solution to the existential problems of life. You can't have political solution for all the existential problems. political solutions end up in politics. There will be always disharmony. Politics means disharmony. To countless suffering people, this assurance has shown a way out of sorrow, meaninglessness, anxiety and conflict. Once a devotee asked Sri Ramakrishna, it is recorded in the Gospel, he said, the devotee is asking Sri Ramakrishna, the English people always exhort us to be active. Is not action the aim of life then? It's a very good question he has asked Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna replied very clearly, in a straightforward way. He said, when the devotee asked, is not action the aim of life? Sri Ramakrishna answered, the aim of life is the attainment of God. Work is only a preliminary step. It can never be the end. Even unselfish work is only a means. It is not the end. And Sri Ramakrishna said further, with love and longing in your heart, pray to God, O God, grant me devotion at your lotus feet and reduce my worldly duties. Please grant me the boon that the few duties I must do may be done in a detached spirit. If you go still farther, you will realize God. You will see Him. In time, you will converse with Him. That is the message of Sri Ramakrishna. Attainment of God. You have to think upon every day whether I am proceeding in that way, whether I am aware of that ideal. If you have set up the ideal, you must become aware of the ideal every day, every moment. Then only you can keep your spiritual journey intact. People who are bewildered and confused by the benefits and limitations of science and secular philosophy, Sri Ramakrishna's assurance has given the inspiration to seek the ultimate reality by transcending the senses. The second message of Sri Ramakrishna is the divine life, the divinity of life, that we should understand. Divinity of life. Western culture upholds the dignity of man, whereas Vedanta upholds the divinity of man. That's the difference. This fundamental tenet of Vedanta had remained obscure for centuries, being largely eclipsed by the Maya doctrine that has been revived in modern times by Sri Ramakrishna. He saw nothing but divine consciousness everywhere, animating every living being. He looked upon everyone as a unique manifestation of the divine. Ishavasimidam Jagat. Whatever that is in this world is covered by God Himself. He says that the differences of strength, intelligence, beauty, talents, etc., found among people are due to the differences in the manifestation of divine power in them. He sees human life as a splendid opportunity to realize the spiritual dimension of the soul. Spiritual dimension you have got, you have to realize it. To him, every human being is potentially God. Every human being. Sri Ramakrishna sees God even in the fallen, in the wicked, in the poor and the miserable. He discourages people from dwelling upon sin and other negative aspects of life. Even in Maya, which traditional Dvaitins regard as the power of illusion, Sri Ramakrishna sees two forces. One is called avidya maya, that is deluding power. The second one is vidya maya, that is liberating power. Both are mayas. This message has tremendous impact. Now, this is the age of humanism. Man is being exalted to the level of Superman, and human needs are considered to be man's ultimate concern. Man is the focus of all attention, endeavor and speculation. While modern socio-political ideas proclaim the glory of man, the marvels of science and technology confirm it. Everywhere, people are awakening from the slumber of ignorance. They are emerging from the darkness of superstition, and they are breaking the shackles of tyranny and oppression. Nevertheless, humanism is a limited concept. It doesn't provide a satisfactory solution to the existential problems of life. It doesn't reveal the true nature of a person or the meaning of life. Nor can it satisfy the higher spiritual urges of a person or relate him meaningfully to the vaster reality around him. Furthermore, when humanism is followed for its own sake, what will happen? It runs the risk of degenerating into body worship, pleasure seeking, materialism, and slavery to the physical world. When pushed beyond a limit, humanism becomes self-defeating. To prevent this, it must be made a means and not an end, a means of attaining the full divine dimension of life. This was what Swami Vivekananda, the great disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, attempted to do. He formulated a new humanism which trusted the potential divinity of the soul and spiritual oneness of life. Swami Vivekananda preached a divinized humanism which sublimated service into worship, human love into divine love, and every activity a means of realizing the ultimate reality. This gives human existence a higher significance, and every action and thought a higher purpose, and makes life a joyful adventure. And Swamiji only gave a practical direction to the teaching he had received from his master, Sri Ramakrishna. We now come to the third and most well-known message of Sri Ramakrishna, the message of harmony. People deal with this subject very frequently nowadays, we see all over the world. This, at least they want to speak about harmony, though not in practice. Well, to that extent it is good, at least they are talking. It is good. Though this is a widely talked about subject, there yet remains a great deal to be understood about it. For Sri Ramakrishna practiced different types of harmony at different levels of human existence. Broadly speaking, spiritual life has three modes or aspects: the ideal or the ultimate reality, which the aspirant wants to attain, the means or pathway to the goal, and finally the actual experience resulting from the realization of the ideal in life. You know, we have three great acharyas belonging to three different schools. One is Shankaracharya, non-dualistic Vedanta. The other one is Ramanujacharya, the dualistic, qualified non-dualistic. The other one is dualistic, Advaita, Vishishtadvaita, Dvaita. In the school of Ramanuj, these are known as Tattva, Hita and Purushartha. Because I deal with these subjects in detail. The precise nature of each of these modes, Tattva, Hita and Purushartha, has for centuries remained a matter of controversy among the various schools and sects of Hinduism. One of the great achievements of Sri Ramakrishna is the reconciliation of these contradictory views. Now, let us take up the first aspect known as Tattva. Tattva means the ultimate ideal or reality. That's called Tattva. Sri Ramakrishna achieved two types of harmony. One is the harmony between the ideal of the personal God and the ideal of the impersonal God. God as a person is the object of love and devotion, whereas God as the impersonal absolute is the goal of knowledge. See how he has reconciled. It's beautiful. This distinction has kept Vedanta split into the dualist and non-dualist schools. Most dualists do not recognize the impersonal, while the non-dualist tries to include the personal in the realm of Maya. Sri Ramakrishna accepts both personal and impersonal, as equally real and equally true. He says, that the impersonal and the personal are the static and dynamic aspects of one and the same ultimate reality. He has got special names for this. He names these aspects Nitya and Leela. Nitya, Brahman. Leela, Kali. Brahman and Kali, both are real. See how he is establishing harmony among the people who adore personal God, among those who meditate on impersonal God. So, that is the first mode which I was talking about, Tattva. And the other two modes I shall discuss in my next class. Page 600. Hearing the loud music, many people gathered about the room. The verandas to the south and north, and the semicircular porch to the west of the room were crowded with people. Even passengers in the boats going along the Ganges were attracted by the kirtan. The music was over. Sri Ramakrishna bowed to the Divine Mother and said, Bhagavat, Bhakta, Bhagavan. My salutation to the Jnanis, my salutation to the Yogis, my salutation to the Bhaktas. See how he is harmonizing. The master was seated on the semicircular porch with the Nilakantha and the other devotees. The autumn moon flooded all the quarters with light. Sri Ramakrishna and Nilakantha talked. Nilakantha said to the master, you are none other than Gauranga. Gauranga was another incarnation of Vishnu. He is also called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was responsible for glorifying the Vaishnavism. Master said, why should you say such a thing? I am the servant of all. The waves belong to the Ganges, but does the Ganges belong to the waves? How nice. Nilakantha said, you may say whatever you like, but we regard you as Gauranga himself. Master said tenderly, in an ecstatic mood, Sri Ramakrishna said, my dear sir, I try to seek my I, but I don't find it. Hanuman said, O Rama, sometimes I think that you are the whole and I am a part, and sometimes that you are the master and I am your servant. But when I have the knowledge of reality, I see that you are I and I am you. Famous statement of Hanuman. Nilakantha said, what shall I say, sir? Please be gracious to us. Master said smilingly, you are ferrying many people across the ocean of the world. How many hearts are illumined by hearing your music? He is appreciating Nilakantha's music. Nilakantha said, you talk of ferrying, but bless me that I may not be drowned in the ocean myself. Master said smilingly, if you get drowned, it will be in the sea of immortality. How nicely Sri Ramakrishna interprets. You can't defeat Sri Ramakrishna in any manner. Sri Ramakrishna was delighted with Nilakanta's company. He said to the musician, "For you to have come here, you whom people see as a result of many austerities and prayers, listen to a song." Now the master sang a song, 2 lines of which ran, "When the blissful mother comes to my house, how much of the Chandi I shall hear. How many monks will come here, and how many yogis and matted locks." How many yogis with matted locks? He said, continuing, "As long as the Divine Mother has come here, many yogis with matted locks will come too." Sri Ramakrishna laughed. "We have had our true reward." Master said smilingly, "When a shopkeeper sells an article, he sometimes gives a little extra something to the buyer. You sang at Nabin's house and have given the extra something here." All laughed. That completes chapter 30. We are starting new chapter 31, Advice to Ishan, next Tuesday. Well, if you have got any discussion or questions or comments, you are welcome to do. This is the age of harmony. People want harmony. People want peace. Peace and harmony you can get only through spiritual understanding. You must have that openness to appreciate and follow. Harmony is possible only when you are reconciling with the facts. If you don't reconcile, if you hold on to the fact, my watch alone is correct, then there cannot be harmony at all. Every man says his watch is correct. So, harmony. We have got many interfaith organizations everywhere, throughout the world. It's true, something better than nothing. But it becomes meaningful if you mean what you say. And otherwise it becomes mere simply academical. You are establishing harmony academically. That it has no practicality. No. If you do it seriously and sincerely, if you want to bring harmony, it is possible. Everything is possible. And here is Sri Ramakrishna who has shown the way. Follow it up. Finished. If we follow harmony in the real sense of the term, there should not be any conflict at all among the various religions. You follow your path, I follow my path. Each is great. That's all. I consider every religion as a flower. Every flower is offered to the God. Flower is offered, finished. So, and Sri Ramakrishna is telling with authority because he has practiced all religions, he has reached the goal, and he is telling, yes, goal of human life is to realize God. You have come to this human life just for that. Just for that. But people take long time to understand it. As long as they are pulled by desires of worldly things, they will not be able to understand all these ideas at all, even though they are convincing, they just don't want to hear them. Let me hear afterwards. There was one devotee in Bangalore, I still remember his words. Both of them were coming to ashrama, he and his wife. And he had children also, 2 children were there. At one point of time, the wife became more spiritually oriented. She wanted to spend more time in the meditation. She wanted to practice the spiritual disciplines more and more. But the husband was not prepared for that. He was telling, you do all your disciplines after my 50. After my 50, after I complete my 50 years, you do whatever spiritual practice you want to do. Up to 50, don't talk of that. Husband is telling the wife. Both are coming to the ashram. See how the conflict of interest. Anyway, what he says is also true, because he has got desire to enjoy a little more, a little bit. So why are you obstructing my enjoyment? That's his outcome of his talk. But she has already fulfilled that desire of enjoyment is no more there in her. She feels she is fed up. And I thought simply they were talking. No, it was not simply talking. And finally the wife went away. Of course, went not to the world, but she went to live a more austere life. And she said, don't worry, if you have got so many desires, if you want to enjoy the world still more, get married again, doesn't matter. And he did marry. Yeah. I saw the other wife also. Of course they are happy. Yeah. But what he says is true. He's so much after having the worldly joys, and though he likes spiritual things, because he is also coming to the ashrama, he likes it no doubt, but he is not yet prepared for that. He still wants to play a little more game. Well, it happens that way. So harmony is possible only when both of them reconcile. That's what Sri Ramakrishna says. After 2 or 3 children, why do you want to spend the same rut of life? Let both of you direct your mind to have the vision of God. Both of you join together and do it. It's wonderful. Like Sri Ramakrishna says in at some point in Gita, in the Gospel, the matter comes there. But anyway, God is not unkind. God is very kind, so He allows you to enjoy. All right. He has got desire to enjoy. Let him enjoy. Afterwards, let him come. And even if he wants to come, God Himself sometimes tests him. No, you will enjoy a little more. Afterwards you come. There is of course these are all famous stories. There was a story of Dhruva, young boy, who was maltreated by his stepmother. And he and the son born to the stepmother, both were playing when the king came to the court, and the stepmother was sitting by the side of the king, and this boy born to the first wife, that is the queen. The queen was also alive. So he, naturally as a father, he does not know the behavior of these elderly people. What does the child know? The child knows just to love and smile. He just ran and sat on the lap of the father. And immediately the stepmother got annoyed. She dragged the child. Go, you can't sit on his lap. If you want to sit on his lap, you have to be born in my womb. That means you have to be born as my child, then only you can sit. See that? It's a terrible insult to the boy. And he felt very sad. He was thrown out actually. And the other boy, born to the stepmother, that boy was taken. Come, you sit on the lap of the father. You go. He threw away, literally, that boy. And he became very sad. He ran to the mother. Mother, what is this? I can't understand. I can't sit on the lap. And she's telling I have to be born as her son. What does it mean? I don't understand. When the queen heard it, she became terribly painful. She suffered terribly. And she said, well, don't worry my child. Pray to Narayan. He's referring to Lord. You will get whatever you want. Why do you bother? You can get into that highest position by praying to God, by praying to Narayan. Is it so? Where is that Narayan? Where should I find him? Then he took that hint and left the home. That boy, he left the home. Just he's going, seeking, thinking about how to get God. Fortunately for him, one of the rishis was walking along, and that rishi saw this boy. This boy was shining, because young boy, full of brightness and inspiration, spirit, everything. And the rishi asked him, where are you going? Where are you simply going? Where do you want to go? I want to see Narayan. Narayan? Who told you? Oh, my mom told. I'm searching for Narayan. How to search? Where to search? Oh, you're searching Narayan. I will show you the way. Come here. Come on, I will show you. And he initiated. That rishi initiated that boy. And he told how to meditate. Sit under the tree, take bath, do like this, all the specifics he gave. Follow it, you will get it. Narayan will come to you, you can talk to him. The boy, boy has got that faith. Generally the children have. Immediately believed what he said and he began to repeat the mantra with full concentration. He has no other things in the mind. He had no involvements. He was not engaged in any financial programs. So he was quite free, and it so happened, it was so matured, Lord came. Because he was initiated by the rishi who was a realized soul. It was so powerful, it's charged with power, and he meditated upon, he got it. And still Dhruva is meditating. Why are you closing your eyes? I am standing before you, I have come to you. Oh Lord, I am seeing you inside my heart. It's all right, you must see outside also. Open your eyes and see me. Then he opened his eyes, he saw exactly the same form. Exactly outside. And he was overwhelmed with joy and ecstasy. Then Narayan was very kind and loving, and just as Mother Kali told Vivekananda, same way Lord Narayan asked, my child, you have meditated upon me so long, I am so pleased. What do you want? You ask me whatever you want, I am prepared to give you anything. Whatever you want, I will give. That boy said, oh Lord, having seen you, I got all fulfillment. I don't want anything. I want nothing. Nothing? You did not come with that idea. You came with an idea. No, I don't want. I want you only, nothing but you. It's all right. But when you left the home, what was your desire? Because your father insulted you, you were like this. It's all right, now you have come to me, I have given darshan to you, you have been blessed by me, and now you go. Now you rule the kingdom. Whenever you want, I am always present. That's what they call, even now in India, in sky there's a star called Dhruva. Dhruva star is there. That's the name of the boy. So, like that, so there's a way of dealing the subject. And anyway, this boy finally he got that way, and God said, no, this point I must explain to you. He himself wants you to go enjoy a bit more. For that point I am telling this story. And here he is telling Dhruva, go and enjoy the world. But you will not be drowned because I am always with you. With that assurance, he was asked to go and rule the kingdom. But some children, they throw away that also. If the mom gives some toys to play, no, I don't want toys. No more toys. I want you. That's of course, that stage also is there. If you are so much determined to have your mother only, nothing else, sure, you will have mother. Very good. Let us stop. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust, raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, drowned deep in the waves of his bliss, tasting his nectar at every step, bathing in his name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times is set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass. Be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take none to thyself, give unto all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for Thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is Thy servant, O sweet one. In Thy mercy consider him as dust beneath Thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when an instant's separation from Thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years. When my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without Thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at Thy feet let me be in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of Thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of Thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O Thou who stillest the hearts of Thy devotees, do with me what Thou wilt, for Thou art my heart's beloved, Thou and Thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, May the tranquil be free from bonds. May the freed make others free. May good betide all people. May the sovereign righteously rule the earth. May all beings ever attain what is good. May the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time. May the earth be blessed with crops. May all countries be free from calamity. May holy man live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.